financial. It
Yeah.
is paying my trip to, our cruise to Italy and Istanbul and stuff.
No,
So,
it is?
yeah.
That's amazing. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this interview with Tonya of Light as a Feather Calligraphy. So, Tonya took my Modern Calligraphy 201 course in 2021, thereabouts, and launched her calligraphy business like just a year ago, about a year ago. And I've just been, I don't know, watching her do some amazing things and just be so like optimistic and trying different things out and action oriented. And I just wanted to get you on to like have you talk about
Yeah.
your experience with that. And then I also the reason I remember Tanya like even before she I think started her calligraphy business because when she I remember you when you enrolled in 201 you posted like an Instagram story saying like y'all I did it. I finally enrolled in this class. I'm so
Yes.
excited and I like distinctly remember I remember seeing that story and then
It was
like
such a
oh
commitment.
that's her. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're going to talk about it all, hopefully give you all some inspiration as to what's possible, and just give you another kind of view of another calligraphy journey.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. So how did you get into calligraphy in the first place?
I remember growing up as a small child that there were items and objects around my house that had beautiful hand lettering on it. And it was from my mother that it was her items and
Oh,
her hand lettering. And she had passed away when I was 3. So it wasn't the fact that I sat there with her and did the hand lettering. It was just like this leaving of her. And since she wasn't there, I longed for her. And it was at the end of 2020 where I really felt the need to, I guess, spiritually connect with her,
mm,
and I missed a portion of our life. And I thought, what better way to do a spiritual connection with her than do a hobby that she not only loved and enjoyed, but also perfected. And so that's kind of how I got into it. And the funny thing is, I'm going to add this because the name Light as a Feather, feathers that are left around remind me of her. And just one day as I was practicing it, well, a year ago, when I decided to take the business journey of it, was all of a sudden one day it clicked. I was like, feathers, calligraphy, my mom, feathers. I was like light as a feather calligraphy.
mm.
And that was the jump in the moment. And it just I felt like it was so right and so authentic that somebody somewhere was telling me that this was my true journey. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Dang, this is why I love talking to my students and doing testimonial like every single time I ask about like the calligraphy journey and how you got interested, it's like a slightly different response. I've never heard from someone that it was a way to get in touch with like someone dear to them who had passed. That's beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's making me tear up. Okay.
Yes.
So okay, we're gonna totally get into light as a feather calligraphy. But
Yeah.
so you joined my 201 course, which for everybody out there who doesn't know, my 201 is my intermediate calligraphy course. So you must have learned the basics somewhere else.
I just did it with passion and drive. And watching you with your freebies, your 5 days to how to get started.
Yeah.
Here's the tools you needed. And I remember I just went on just like everybody does, tries to buy something and to try to figure it out themselves.
Hmm.
And it was more of a brush lettering. And
Okay.
I like opened it up and I'm like, wait, the tool that Sheena uses isn't in here. This isn't what I want. So after page 7, I was like, screw this. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna invest into 201. And that's when I was really committed. I wanted to be good at it. I
Yeah.
not only wanted to come and get it done, I wanted to succeed. And there was no way I was going to accelerate without any form of professional guidance,
Yeah.
especially your guidance.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. I gotta pull out some threads that I see here. So first of
Yeah.
all, you can totally learn the basics if you it's difficult to do it completely on your own in a vacuum. I will say that. But
Mhm.
there's so many resources out there now, and especially like when I do my challenges and stuff, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of good shit in there. And I've
Yeah.
actually heard from people before that they've learned the basics like just based on my
Mhm.
freebies and Instagram and stuff that I've got. So I'm just saying this to everyone out there who's like, I can't do it and there's barriers to entry. Like you can figure this out. Tanya did it.
Absolutely.
So why
Absolutely.
not? Yeah.
You
But
know, I think if I never bought that silly little book on Amazon, I probably would have done the 101 and became better quicker.
mm,
So
okay, but you took your own
it,
path. That's
I
cool.
did
Like,
take my own path, and I know
yeah.
that there's, many different ways to the finish line.
Hmm.
Find what works for you.
Hmm.
I definitely wouldn't pick any other teacher. You're
I'm pretty good,
absolutely
y'all. I am pretty
amazing.
good.
You are absolutely amazing. You have the best personality and you just stayed connected the whole time. And I liked that. I
Mhm.
liked that a lot. It was easy to learn with you.
Hmm. So
It
did you
wasn't
see a
dry.
yeah, did you see a big difference before and after the course in your
Oh,
calligraphy?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I was like, I got this. I got this. And I always tried to tell myself, as you, said, I mean, be kind to yourself. You got to start somewhere. Don't judge your first chapter to somebody's third volume,
Yeah.
chapter 7, and so you gave me the confidence in 201 and that extra push and drive to be better.
Yeah. That's what I hear from
Yeah,
so many people. It's the confidence. You think you're gonna get
absolutely.
just like technique, but you come out of it with like a different attitude that maybe I can do more.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, did you always think that you were gonna do a business?
Never.
Ah!
It wasn't until the moment that, the words light as a feather calligraphy came together. It was a destiny. I felt like it was that spiritual awakening that I was looking for,
Hmm.
and the reason why I went down the calligraphy journey. Like, the
Yeah.
moment that, clicked in my head, I went online that night and bought a $25 business name in Montana to say, "That's mine. That is my name. Ain't nobody else gonna take it." And
Wow.
I knew it. And, now I'm like, oh my gosh, my mother would be so damn proud of
Oh
me.
my God.
So
Yeah, she is.
it's, yeah,
Oh,
thank
that's so
you.
touching. Okay, wait. So I'm sure people who are listening have just so many questions. They're like, "What? You just decided you wanted a business and then you just did it? Like, how did you even know what to sell and like know how to get clients and stuff?"
Well, I didn't know what to sell. And the first thing I did was, well, people need to know about me. So I decided to go and do a Google page. Actually, before the Google page, I made a website, pretty basic, just on GoDaddy. I know there's a lot of places where you can pick where you want to make, but that way I had a landing point.
Yeah.
That way it's like, oh, check out my website. Check out my website. And I kind of made official pages on social media. And so I really separated everything. And I was like, okay, now what? What do I do now?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I guess I'll start selling whatever the hell I have. Like, who wants a bookmark? Who wants a sign? Who wants this? Who wants that? And kind of sold a little bit here and there, but it didn't really, accelerate until, I don't know, maybe about 8 months ago, after I
Okay.
put my Google listing up.
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, I should probably let America know that I'm here. And I just get random calls now.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, who are
Okay,
you?
that
Oh,
is
Derek.
that is great advice. That
Yeah. You got to put yourself out there if you want people to
yeah.
find you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And especially, I mean, you're in Montana. I imagine there's not
Yeah.
like it's not flooded with calligraphers, right?
None. I'm
So,
like calling myself hashtag Montana calligrapher,
yeah,
like
why not?
Montana's calligrapher, because there isn't a whole lot here.
Hmm.
And I struggle with, I guess, population, and people be like, oh, well, is that something I want to do? But that's not my business, what other people want.
Hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm going. It's like, it's not my business what you want, but if you want my business, I'm right here waiting for you.
Okay.
So I try not to take things too personal and stuff. And I'll be honest, it's growing very organically
Hmm.
and at the pace that I want it to, because I'm not over stressing myself. with it,
Mhm. You seem
and
to be
it's
having fun
really
with it.
good. I am, the one thing you gotta find out is what's your definition of success?
Yeah.
It was a mental success for me originally, and I've got that.
Mhm.
It's such a place of zen, it's such a place of peace. Why overwhelm that when I've already succeeded? I
Mm.
mean, now I'm just making money. I mean,
That's
that's
pretty
just the
cool.
added bonus.
But okay, see, so when I follow you on your stories though, I don't hear you talking about money a lot. I hear you talking about like, damn, I'm so like proud that I did that. Or like my
Yeah,
mom would be so proud of me. So can you tell me about some of those moments that have happened, like especially in the past 8 months?
yeah, absolutely, and I'll actually talk about Christmas because, um and my first vendor show, I'm never the one, like, putting a Google listing out there was, like, ballsy for me, like, "Oh my god," and now when my phone rings, I'm like, "Who the is calling me?" I was like, "Business." I should probably answer it, and I changed my voicemail that
Mhm.
says, "Owner of, Modern Calligrapher, live as a feather," but, just getting myself out there and telling people who I am and just kind of network, that's really been the biggest thing for me is just get out there.
Mhm.
Get out there. Get your business cards out there. I ended up getting into these arts and yoga pop-up for full moon because I did a vendor show and she didn't buy anything that day, but she reached out to me 3 months later.
Mhm.
And now we've got 6 vendor show or not vendor shows, they're art pop-ups because she's putting me into that category. And
Yeah.
it's very honorable to be called an artist now.
Yeah,
And
you are.
like
Come on.
really like move over imposter syndrome or I'm here, and it's just, my heart's full, my heart's warm. So
That's fantastic. Okay, I have to reiterate this point for everybody who's listening. So many people are like, I did a vendor show and I didn't make that much money and it felt like a waste. And it's just so not the way to approach it. The point of a vendor show is to practice getting yourself out there, like be in
absolutely.
a space where other vendors, other business owners, other local people might see you and like, aha, and save you for later. It's to give out your business cards. It's to notice what people gravitate towards and what people
Mhm.
are reacting to. Like that's the point of a vendor show. So I absolutely
Absolutely, and,
recommend that to my students.
not only give yourself a goal, but give yourself a realistic goal.
Yeah.
You gotta start somewhere, and I actually put myself in the first vendor show that I did is I set myself kinda low. I didn't go into, the biggest Christmas vendor show in the world. I went into a tiny little thing where there was maybe about 12 booths. It was at like a brewery. I'm like, perfect. I can drink. I can calm my nerves a little bit. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And sure enough, like I remember the moment it was like 3 hours in. I'm like, "Oh, I made my $35 booth rental back. That's pretty
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome." And it was a very low vendor. And by the end of the night, I was like, "Oh my God, I made 120 bucks." So I went in with an expectation and a smaller goal, a realistic
Yeah.
goal, and exceeded it.
Nice. Oh my God.
And
That
that's where
reminds
I got the arts pop-up lady. So
Yeah. One thing leads to another.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
People seem to think that it should be instant success. Within a year,
yeah,
within 2 years, I should be full time and like totally. No, it
yeah,
takes little by little. And as long as you know,
yeah.
like accept that and you're right, heartful about.
Absolutely. And like I said, your definition of success, I mean, if you're in a financial state, yeah, you're gonna have to look at it differently than
Yeah.
somebody for me that I was actually going into it, in a more spiritual mental state. I needed something in my life with my high strung personality to slow me down.
Mhm.
What better thing to slow you down than calligraphy? I mean, test me over and over again. Test me.
It'll
And
punish you
it
if you try
gave
to go
that
too
super
fast. It'll
yes.
right?
But, so right
Yeah.
away, I'm already successful. I am
Mhm.
pushing myself to make it more financial. It
Yeah.
is paying my trip to our cruise to Italy. and Istanbul and stuff.
No,
So
it is?
yeah,
That's amazing. Hooray! That's so fantastic. Thank you for giving an example of like some people just want to bring in a couple $100 over the holiday season. Some people want to just,
mhm,
cover their daughter's dance lessons each month. Like some people want to
yeah.
go on a cruise. You're right about that. Set that definition of success for yourself and then like freaking celebrate it, man. That's
And then boom, I
fantastic.
didn't know. I was just like, great, I can sell a couple things to pay for the things that I'm, like this back and forth thing. I was like, honey, the studio pays for itself now. I never in my wildest dreams thought at 1 year I would be paying for a cruise. My
Yeah.
husband he can pay for it any day. But just the excitement of saying I can,
Yeah.
just I'm
That's
a lady and I did it myself.
that's fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about your ornaments that you got into the bridal
Yes.
shop?
Let me get one. Oh, that one. Yes, I have an example. Woo,
Okay.
let me grab it. What a huge goal of mine. There's one boutique. I live in a town probably, I really don't know how big Billings is, maybe 180,000 people. It's the biggest city in Montana.
Okay.
And there's one bridal store downtown. It's called Belle and Blanc. It's like the bridal store. And I've always wanted to, I was like, oh, what a great thing to do to get into that industry, to get into the wedding industry. Somehow I got to put my foot in. Well, I finally did it. I got my foot in. So that's my new goal is to somehow get into that wedding industry
Mm,
and make a markup there because I feel like Montana could use that.
mhm,
And so I'm looking at where not only places things that I can do that are good, but where does the industry need someone like me? I'm
mhm.
trying to do a business strategy
Yeah.
and where my location is, I'm like, perfect. Let's do that. But yes, oh my gosh,
That's so
everybody's
cool.
doing here, let's put it on my shirt.
Yeah.
There we go. But yeah, the one thing you got to do is you got to start following the people where you want to be. You
Mm,
got to start interacting with them. You got to let them know that you're watching them and you have to watch them because eventually when they ask, hey, does anybody know a local calligrapher?
mm,
I jumped on it. I jumped on it. I said, I'm number one. I'm the Montana calligrapher. What do you need? And she asked me, and I was like, oh, yeah. And so I whipped this up just as a quick, like, is this something that you're looking for? Because, like, absolutely. And I told her, well, this is how much I'm going to charge. And, I kind of dropped the price just a little bit because she asked me to price match a place that she had gotten last year.
okay.
Typically, I don't because I don't have competition here, which is kind of a bonus for me. But that was my key in. That was
Yeah.
I wanted to. I wanted in so bad. So I said, absolutely, I'll do them for, $5 instead of $6,
Mhm.
what she was asking for, and I said, in hopes that, we can work together in the future. And I am pretty optimistic that we will be working together in the future. In
Wow.
2024, I'll officially be able to say I can offer wedding calligrapher. Whew.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's just crazy. It's crazy because here I am.
That's cool. So they're your ornaments, those ornaments they're using in their bridal shop. Is that
Yep. And so everybody that purchases a dress for December
uh-huh.
gets an ornament.
Ah, okay.
So
So,
yeah.
oh, another lesson here for you. I can't help
Yeah.
this, but like pricing is so dependent on so many factors, which is why,
Mhm.
it's just like you just got to put yourself out there and try different things and see what feels good and understand your numbers. But like if you feel like it's going to lead to other opportunities, then that's totally something to factor in. And like every bride who gets an ornament is going to be like, well, who did this ornament? You got the
Absolutely.
bride's awareness, you got the bridal shop. That's fantastic.
Absolutely. And I don't price adjust for everybody. And I've
Mhm.
denied people because
Yeah.
I know my worth. I know how hard it is. I know the time that goes into it. And you kind of gotta pick and choose. But isn't that great about being a business owner
Yeah.
and being a calligrapher is that it's not like something on the wall. I was like, oh, that's $20, that's $80. You can really customize and figure out what's going to work for your client.
Yeah. It sounds like the cool thing about it is that you get to figure this out
Absolutely.
and try different things and
And
see where it
learn
leads.
from your mistakes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's okay as
Yes.
long as
No,
you
you have
learn
to.
from them.
You have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to make
Yep.
mistakes and then learn from them. Very cool. Well, that's That's fantastic. I'm very excited for you. I do have to say, like, I mean, one other thing I'm pulling out of this is that I get from so many people like, but I live in a crowded city. How am I going to compete? But I live in a rural area. How am I going to compete? I'm like, wherever you are, you can make, there's going to be a reason for you not to try.
Yeah.
Like being in a very small, a relatively small place like Billings, or you can use it as like, okay, well, there's nobody here. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna become the Montana calligrapher, right? Or
Yeah,
if you're in a crowded
absolutely.
rural area, a crowded urban area, you can say like, well, there's already a robust market here.
Yeah.
So
I
there's
know
already demand.
she can do it, so can I.
Yes. Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, you got to put your perspective on things and, don't doubt yourself. Just go for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just go for it. Remember,
So
it's none of your business about what other people think of you.
no, that is a hard lesson.
Yeah.
But would that be your like best advice if I were to ask you, someone in your shoes who wants to start a calligraphy business and they're feeling a lot of imposter syndrome and
Yeah.
it's feeling kind of ballsy for them to even like put up a Google
Absolutely.
listing, what advice would you give them?
You're already better than half of America or anywhere out there. So you're gonna have somebody that's gonna like your stuff.
Mm,
And don't worry about what people think about your stuff, like you have the passion, dream, and desire, go for it.
mm,
Do it.
yeah.
It's okay. You
And
just gotta do it.
learn from me, right? Which
Absolutely, Miss
that's gonna
Shrina.
be my final question to you is was it worth the
Yeah,
investment? Was
it
taking my courses
absolutely
worth it?
was. I would do it 10 times over again, especially when you want to take like for me, like I said, I kind of had the basics about it, but connecting the letters better, making everything more uniform, flourishing, flourishing,
Yeah.
and you're not going to be able to do it on your own. You're not going to be able to get that good watching YouTube. You're not going to be able to get that good just trying. I promise you, your investment is worth tenfold when you invest with
Mm.
my lady Sheena.
It does feel pretty amazing, guys, to sit down and like know exactly the lesson you need to watch and know exactly the worksheet you're going to do. That's the problem
Yeah.
with like looking up the YouTube tutorials and blog posts and stuff. It's a little bit of a like a
Well, in your
chicken
your
hunt.
class, I don't know if people realize that I I I still have access to that. I can go into my flourishing lesson whenever I want because calligraphy is redundant. It is the same thing over and over again, and that's what you perfect
Mhm.
to make things unique and better. If I struggle, and I still do, but I still have the passion to want to be better, I actually pull up. I have it's on my pin board, my pin board next to
Uh-huh.
my start button,
Yeah.
my course there. And I just pull up, it's like, okay, go to lesson 7-2. It's like, what the hell am I doing wrong? It's like, oh, I'm starting from the wrong way, Anya. Start from the other way. And it's like, okay, I'm back at it. So that's really great that my investment's always there.
Yeah.
It doesn't like, oh, sorry, if you're not done in 8 weeks, you got to buy it again. No,
And you
it's
get all
there.
the new lessons added on there too. I hope you're taking advantage of
Yes.
those.
It's like I am. It's like, oh my gosh, what's in my mailbox? Like there she
Yeah.
is, Sheena. What
Yeah.
you got going now? So
Yeah.
it's good. I enjoy you. I enjoy your course, and I enjoy your attitude. It's great.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on
Yeah,
and
you're
talking.
welcome.
It's just cool to see that this seems to be giving you a lot of life and like
Yeah,
helping you discover things about yourself and giving you that spiritual just connection that you were looking for. And how
yeah,
cool that you get to fund a cruise to Italy, but also that you have so much in your future that's exciting. It's
absolutely.
kind of like the best part.
And obviously my biggest dream is to not have to work for a dental office.
Hmm.
Is that my passion? No, it's not my passion to tell people they owe me $1,300 for a crown. My passion is this. And, unfortunately, we as humans don't find our true passion until later in life. And a lot of people actually don't find their passion. So I'm pretty honored to just be turning 40 and finding my passion. I feel honored that I found it. Now I'm trying to lay things out, put my roadmap ahead of me to figure out, yeah, how I can set that dream up for myself. And all I can see is that it is possible. And I'll be damned if it doesn't happen.
Yes. All right. That's Tonya. Tell me your Instagram so I can make sure people go and follow you.
Absolutely. My Instagram is light as a feather calligrapher. I was
Calligrapher.
gonna
So
do
all one word, like
yes.
the feather calligrapher. Okay. Cool. Okay. So everybody go follow Tonya. She's gonna be up to some exciting shit next year.
Yes.
And
Thank
she just has
you.
a joy about it that kind of like lights up your day. So it's very cool. Thank you, Tonya.
You're welcome. Thanks, Sheena.